As I was saying, HiQnet Audio Architect, our brand new software application for installed sound, which merges the open architecture DSP capabilities of SoundWeb London and London Architect and System Architect. And it really is as simple as that. The sum of the functionality of System Architect and London Architect in one shiny new software application. Up at the top level, the operation and behavior are very much an extension of that of System Architect, but with an even more simplified interface to make it even less daunting for novice users, but while still allowing advanced users to bury down deep into SoundWeb London devices, for example. We've implemented SoundWeb London very much as a SoundWeb London world to retain as much familiarity with London Architect as possible, and to make it an easy transition for existing London Architect users. Just double-click a SoundWeb London device to enter the SoundWeb London world, and with a lick of grey paint here and there, things start to look remarkably familiar. But boys will be boys, and we've made a few enhancements along the way. We have a brand new matrix control, for example, and new and improved control port configuration and preset configuration. And both of these last two share the universal audio architect principle of dragging from the left window to the right window. Learn that simple rule, drag from the left to the right, and you should be able to operate any interface that Audio Architect presents you with. And that's very important, because here we're actually using the software itself as its own teaching and educational tool. Back up at the top level, as with Performance Manager, we've also included support for HiQnet NetSetter to provide a comprehensive networking and addressing utility directly accessible from the main interface. And we continue support for HiQnet Motion Control, our new iOS control app. And it's now possible to launch IDX software directly from a representation of the IDX device in the venue, thereby merging the management of HiQnet and IDX systems. In merging London Architect and System Architect, it's those unique and innovative features that can now really start to set us apart. The idea of designing the system into a representation of the venue, which in turn gives rise to our patent-pending automated control and monitoring interfaces for rooms and for racks. Our context-sensitive modal interface, stripping away unnecessary information to provide the system operator just with the tools he's interested in for each and every stage of the design. Our persona-based workflow, with our offline tools clearly oriented towards the use cases of the system designer, and the online operate tools clearly oriented towards the use cases of the system commissioning engineer. And for the day-to-day operator, our patent-pending system-wide control and monitoring interfaces. Our match devices mechanism, reducing networking to a simple drag and drop. And our ability to go online not just to the entire venue, but selectively by room or by rack or even down at the individual device level. And our drag and drop audio routing, the exact same mechanism used to route AVB, BlueLink, and Dante. And this is important for education as well, because you learn one software application once, HiQnet Audio Architect, and you're conversant in routing AVB, BlueLink, CobraNet, and Dante. So, Audio Architect is the addition of the open architecture flexibility of SoundWeb London to the workflow paradigms of System Architect. But I also have to mention the fact that all the very proven amplifier functionality also carries over from System Architect and can now start to overlap with our processor functionality. Because that is exactly what is born here in Audio Architect. The ability to increase the overlap between the DSP world and the amplifier world, to remove the boundaries between them, so that the lines between them become blurred, and the HiQnet system starts to feel more and more like a single system. The HiQnet software vision has always been about selling our hardware through the capabilities of our software. And the more the software can present the system as a single merged entity, the more useful it becomes to the operator, and the more it becomes the system's strongest selling point.